holding my hand.
He's holding my hand. Tell me more. Tell me what happened.
We're looking at the lake.
So I'd like for you to describe yourself at that lake. What do you look like? What do you notice?
You look like me.
And look at your guide. What does your guide look like?
It's Matt.
It's Matt.
Very pale blonde hair.
Pale blonde hair.
Very blue eyes.
And blue eyes.
He's smiling. He's laughing.
So let's ask Matt why he has brought you here today.
Because he loves me. I wanted to know how great she is.
So Matt, you've told Susan that in the future you'll be meeting together. Can you tell her about that?
We will. I want to be with her. It's hard to stay away.
It's hard to stay away. So let's find out, Matt, how it is that you know each other on a different realm. Would you allow Susan to go now to that time and place where you consider yourself together? I'm going to count from 5 to 1 and allow her to journey through time and space. When I get to number 1, I'll touch the forehead and you'll be there. So take a deep breath in now. 5. Going through time and space to see that lifetime with Matt. 4. Going deeper and deeper. And as we hear those noises, allow yourself to use those noises to go deeper. 3. 2. And 1. Be there now. Where are you?
Home.
Describe to me what home looks like.
Anything we want it to be. Right now it's just white light.
It's just white light. Tell me more.
Don't have physical bodies.
No physical bodies.
Just the light that dances. We're swirling.
So are you two lights that are swirling?
Yes.
How does this light feel?
Blissful. So loved.
So loved. So let's continue on this journey and let's see what happens next. What happens to these two lights?
It's like little lights come out of it. It's almost like it breaks off. And it becomes its own little orb. But it's smaller.
And who's creating these little lights?
We are.
Both of you.
We just choose to split.
Can you identify what those orbs are?
Fractals. We're sending out.
Yes. For what purpose are you creating these fractals of yourself?
Because we want to experience. Because they can get an understanding that we can't up here.
So I'd like for you to focus on one of those fractals and see where it goes to. Can you do that?
Floating. It's floating away.
See if you can follow it or visualize where it goes.
I see pyramids.
I see pyramids. Very good.
I see statues.
And statues.
Goddess.
What goddess?
Isis.
Isis. Tell me more.
Everywhere. She's holding staffs.
What does the staff represent?
Power.
Power. Are you observing it, or are you feeling in the body?
I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm quite in there. But I'm everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more.
I can see two people, a man and a woman.
Mm-hmm.
They're sitting in a great hall.
So I'd like for you to describe this man and woman. What do they look like?
And bronze skin.
What is it? Bronze skin.
Skin.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a tall white hat.
A tall white hat. What does that white hat represent?
All of Egypt.
All of Egypt. Is he a pharaoh?
Bigger.
Bigger than a pharaoh.
Osiris.
Osiris. And who is the other one next to him? The woman?
Isis.
Isis. So as you're looking at these two, look around and see if there's anybody in that hall with them.
It's a man with a hawk head.
A man with a hawk head? Mm-hmm. Who is he?
Horus.
Mm-hmm. Horus. And what does he have to do with the other two?
It's my son.
Son. Mm-hmm.
I love him so much.
Mm-hmm. Connect with him. What happens next?
I'm looking at his eyes and they have so much love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's a distance. Because he has something he has to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I love him and I let him go.
Tell me more about that.
He's meant for his own greatness. He doesn't need to be tethered by his parents.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to feel in your heart how that feels.
Happy and sad.
Mm-hmm. Bittersweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's growing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of him. He has a great task.
He has a great task. Uh-huh. Can you tell me more about yourself and your family?
Many of us. But I'm with Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
He is not all complete.
Tell me about that. Why is Osiris not all complete?
He was taken apart.
Mm-hmm. Who took him apart?
His brother.
Mm-hmm. How was he taken apart?
He was killed.
Mm-hmm.
He was chopped up. Thrown away.
How does that affect you?
I'm heartbroken.
Mm-hmm. Look inside your heart and see what happens there.
I have to find him.
Mm-hmm.
I will find him.
All right. So let's see what happens next. How do you find him? I'm going to go ahead and count from 3 back to 1, and I want you to go to the next significant scene. Take a deep breath. 3. Begin to find him. 2. And 1. Be there now. Where are you?
At the river.
At the river. Mm-hmm.
It's like I can see a light.
Mm-hmm.
And I know where that part is. And so I reach in and I get it. And I keep doing it. Over and over. I can't find one part though.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make him less of a man.
Mm-hmm. Where do you imagine that part is?
It got eaten.
It got eaten. Mm-hmm. Now we know that even though you eat something, it's still energy. Let's see where that energy went.
It went into the river.
Mm-hmm. Now can you retrieve that, or does Osiris need to retrieve that?
He needs to get it.
All right.
But he's okay with not having it.
Mm-hmm.
The river is fertile now.
All right. Are you okay with it?
I'm fine.
Very
There are
good.
other ways.
There are other ways. Very good. So let's keep going in this lifetime. I'd like for you to close this scene and go to the next significant scene in that lifetime that has impacted you. Be there now.
There is unrest.
There is
and
unrest.
war,
Mm-hmm.
but we cannot intervene.
Tell me about this. What's happening?
Pharaoh's fighting. Egypt is divided. It was never supposed to be divided, but that is what they've decided.
Mm-hmm. What role do you play in this conflict?
Observers. We cannot intervene.
Mm-hmm.
It is not meant for us to intervene.
What do you do?
I go to the mothers who are losing their sons.
Mm-hmm.
And I comfort them. They pray and I am there. It is only a thought, and I can be everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me about how it is that you're able to be everywhere?
It is like they call me. And it is not that I fractalize, but I expand my energy
Mm-hmm.
so that I can be in all places.
Mm-hmm. And what about Osiris? Can Osiris be in all places?
Yes,
Okay.
we all can.
Very good. So I'd like for you now to close this scene with the mothers. And we're going to go now to the scenes when you are ready to leave Egypt, to leave that body. Close this scene and go now to that moment in time. And tell me what happens.
I do not have a physical body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there, and I love Egypt. So I may pull myself back, but I am never truly gone.
Mm-hmm.
We have pulled ourselves away in the moment, because that is what man has chosen.
Mm-hmm.
We are there. We love them still.
What is the purpose of you having lived that lifetime in Egypt?
To provide the love
Mm-hmm.
of a mother, of a great mother. To let them know that they are loved,
Mm-hmm.
watched over.
Very good. So I'd like for you to completely leave that time behind. Allow yourself now to leave and begin to drift and float through time and space. And find another one of those orbs, those fractals, that is affecting the lifetime. 5. Drifting. 4. Floating. 3. Allowing the images to come. 2. Going deeper and deeper as you hear my voice. 1. Be there now. Where are you?
I'm in my house.
Mm-hmm. How old are you there?
30.
Mm-hmm. And as you look at your house, what do you see?
So much gold.
So much gold. Mm-hmm.
It's white walls with gold trim.
Everything has gold trim?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Palace.
A palace. Very good. Are you there by yourself or are there others with you?
My children are there.
Your children are there. Good. I want you to look at your own body and tell me what you look like there.
Very pretty.
Very pretty. Mm-hmm.
I have very light skin, milky almost, but I think it's makeup.
Mm-hmm. So your skin is very light skin?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And my hair is up.
And what color is your hair?
Gray because of the powder that they put in it.
Mm-hmm. How are you dressed?
Very uncomfortably.
Describe this attire that you're wearing.
Such a big dress.
A big dress. Mm-hmm.
I can barely walk in it. I can't even sit.
Mm-hmm.
It's so wide.
What do you notice?
I don't like these dresses.
I don't like these dresses. Very good. What color is this dress?
Blue.
Mm-hmm.
It's so uncomfortable. I hate these dresses.
Mm-hmm. What would you prefer to be wearing?
I have a chemise that I like.
My chemise. Mm-hmm.
Just a light white dress. Just simple.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like all of this propriety.
Why is it that you're having to wear this? What status do you have there?
Queen.
You're queen. What country do you rule? France. Mm-hmm. And what year is this?
1763.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
1768. 17.
Mm-hmm.
Not really aware of the time.
Yes. So, you say you have children there?
Yes.
Tell me about your children.
I have a son. And I have a daughter. My son is to be king.
What do you call your son?
Louis.
Mm-hmm.
He's so mischievous.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so free-spirited. And I'm afraid that they're going to break that out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Because of his responsibility.
How old is Louis?
He's only 5.
Mm-hmm. And how old is your daughter?
6.
Mm-hmm. What do they call you, Queen?
Maria.
Maria. Mm-hmm. So tell me about your life there.
It's so stuffy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like it. I'm not happy. I try to be, but I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people. Too much propriety, and I don't like it. It doesn't feel authentic.
Mm-hmm.
It's don't feel like I'm liked. And I don't know why.
So, Maria, I'd like for you now to move forward in that lifetime to a time when something very important is happening. Close the scene behind you and begin to see this important time and event. What's happening there?
People are angry.
Mm-hmm. Who are these people?
Are people.
Mm-hmm.
People we are supposed to look after. They're angry. And I feel like I'm having a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
They are very, very angry.
What are these people doing?
They're at the gate. They're at distance, but they're coming. I understand why.
Why is it, Maria?
They think we are too pompous and too full of ourselves, and they have nothing and we have everything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want this. I really didn't want this.
Is there anyone there to support you?
No.
No. So tell me what happens.
I was told I needed to leave and I didn't leave because I didn't believe they would come.
Mm-hmm. So what happens next?
The guards can't keep them away. They're coming.
What do you hear?
Yelling.
Mm-hmm.
They're so angry. I didn't want this. I really didn't want this.
Where is the king?
Louis. My husband.
Mm-hmm.
My children aren't there. I don't have anyone.
So what happens next?
I'm taken away. And people are pawing at me.
Mm-hmm.
I was a queen, and now they are pawing at me.
Mm-hmm. Look into the eyes of these people who are pawing at you. Do you recognize any?
No.
Mm-hmm. What happens?
Taken away.
All right.
Put in a dark room.
All right. So I'd like for you to go ahead and see yourself in that dark room and use your own internal light to illuminate this place so you can just describe it for me. What is this place?
It's a prison.
Mm-hmm.
It's stone walls. There's a bed, but it's not very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting.
Does anyone come to see you?
No.
So I want you to just see the time in that prison go by very quickly. Very quickly. And notice what happens to your body while you're there.
I feel defeated.
Feel defeated? Mm-hmm.
There's no point. Just waiting to die.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I'm going to die.
Yes. So I'd like for you now to move to the last day of your life in that lifetime. See yourself on the last day. Where are you?
On a scaffold.
Mm-hmm. Who's there with you?
No one really, but my executioner.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd of people who have come to see me die. I've given up. There's nothing left.
happens next?
I'm placed on my knees, and my head is put in a stock. It looks like a stock, but I can look up and I see the blade.
Mm-hmm.
So foolish.
What do you hear them saying?
They want me to die. That with my death, they may live. Without a king, without a ruler, without rules. But I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. My husband is so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't listen to anyone. He was so stubborn. He didn't care. But this is what it must be. I am here to play a role.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like for you to be at the moment of your death. See what happens.
My head is gone. It's rolled off to the left. People are cheering. There's so much of my blood stained on my gown, and it's only a white gown.
Mm-hmm. And as you're observing this, look at your spirit and see if your spirit is completely whole, or have you left a piece of your spirit? Has something separated from you?
I am complete, but there is an essence of myself still there, because I purposefully did it, and it is there in the gardens.
So I'd like for you to see that essence of yourself that you have split away. And as it is in that garden, look at how it's affecting your soul. Does it need to be in that garden, that place?
It doesn't need to be, but it makes it beautiful. I like beautiful things.
Mm-hmm. See what happened if you could retrieve that part of you.
It would still be beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready now to bring that part of you back?
Yes.
Good. And I want you to go ahead and see yourself whole again with your head. Go ahead and attach that head back onto you. And tell me how that feels.
Very good.
Very good.
It's been a long time without it.
Mm-hmm. So now, let's see what happens to you next. Where do you go after you leave that place now completely whole? Does anybody meet you?
Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does he say to you?
It was hard, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He says I made very beautiful things.
Mm-hmm. So now that you're with Matthew and you look back at that lifetime, why did you need to experience so much pain, so much hatred from others?
I needed to be authentic. It's not that I disliked mothers.
Mm-hmm.
I myself was a mother, but I could not be the mother I wanted to be, and I could not be the person that I wanted to be because of all these rules. And I tried, but at the time it was very taboo. I tried to have my own friends. I tried to dress how I wanted, and I created an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couldn't cope with being a queen. I never wanted to be a queen.
Mm-hmm.
I was born into it. I was born as a princess.
So I'd like for you to go to the moment in time before you were born as that princess. Connect with the guides where you were planning that life as a princess. And understand why you chose to be born in that life. Why did you choose that life? It was no coincidence that your soul was born to be queen.
The Regency needed to go,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to be a sacrificial lamb.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
So how is that lifetime affecting the lifetime of Susan now?
And her authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And she is learning to be fully authentic to herself despite anyone's opinions.
Mm-hmm. So what I would like to do is would like to take her to another lifetime, to those places that she sees in her meditations. I'd like for you to go ahead and begin to take her on this journey. I'm going to count from 5 to 1, and let's go to one of those places that she sees. Perhaps it's the beach or the forest or the pier, to find a significance by taking a deep breath in now. 5, going through time and space, riding the ethers. 4, drifting and floating. 3, allowing the images to come. 2, allowing it to get clearer and clearer. And 1, be there now. Where are you?
I'm at the pier.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Ferris wheel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's little carnival games. And there's a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other people there. They're just passing through.
Do you have a body in this place?
No.
No. So let's find out what this place means to you. What role do you play?
Just passing through.
Mm-hmm.
It is a pit stop in the astral realm
Mm-hmm.
for her. It is how she is able to get back into her body by visiting there first,
Mm-hmm.
and then she is allowed to wake up, because if she were to come back into her body from the astral realms, it would be a very hard adjustment. This is the space for her to calm down, so to speak.
Okay. Did she go to any other places before this pier?
She goes so many places.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard to keep up with.
Why is it that this soul travels so much?
Because she's helping people.
Ah, all right. So let's see in one of those journeys where she has helped someone that it's very significant. Let's take her to that place when she sleeps and see how she does it.
It's an old man on a hospital bed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dying. He knows I'm there, but he sees me as some guardian angel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there to help him transition.
How is it that this man is helped?
I am a presence. I am nurturing and loving and gentle. He is very afraid. He doesn't want to die, but his body has said it is time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very, very frail, but he's alone. And that's why I've come. Because no one is there to be with him as he transitions.
What happens?
His breathing is very raspy. But I can see his soul slowly coming out. And it's as if it is an overlay for his body.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming out so slow because he's so resistant.
Mm-hmm.
It could be very quick and very fast, but he's holding on.
Did you say anything to him?
I tell him gently that it is time to go, and that it is not really the end. But he doesn't listen. He is stubborn. He's waiting for his daughter. But she doesn't come. He's waiting. She doesn't come.
So release yourself from that memory now. Allow yourself to drift away from that memory, and let's go to that memory in that parallel life. The one that was so memorable. 5, going through time and space to that parallel life. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Be there now. Look at your body. What do you look like?
I don't really have one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a library.
Describe this library.
It's so vast.
Mm-hmm.
It's so many records.
How do you identify what these records are? Are they in books? Are they stored in any particular place?
Some are books, some are scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
It is dependent on the soul.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for today?
I am helping souls find their scroll or book.
How do you do that?
It's almost like I can do it telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
But it is up to them to grab it. I can point the way.
Mm-hmm.
I can light it up for them.
Do you work in this library?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about this library. What does it look like?
It is marble.
Mm-hmm.
And walls and walls and walls. So high. Full of all of these records.
Tell me more.
Here, Kasha.
Mm-hmm.
I am happy to help them find their way.
Mm-hmm. What do they do when they come to this library? What is the need for them to find?
They review.
Mm-hmm.
It is where all of their lives are stored, every individual soul,
Mm-hmm.
and all of the lives they have lived. And it is a way for them to reflect
Mm-hmm.
and meditate on those lives. To see what they have learned, what they have accomplished, and what they can continue to learn.
Mm-hmm. Are there any souls that ever do research with others' lives?
Yes.
How does that work?
It is because they are teachers.
Mm-hmm.
They are fine-tuning their method, as some souls can be very difficult, and those are the ones that we look at
Mm-hmm.
as an opportunity for us to learn, and how we can guide other souls that may face these difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
We must be gentle yet firm.
Yes. And where is your book? Where is your scroll?
Quite high.
So I'd like for you to go ahead and let's visit this book and see what's there. How do you get to this place so high up?
Just think about it. It's like I can fly up.
What does your book or scroll look like?
It's very ornate. It's a very big book.
A big book.
And it's white. And it has gold. And it's shimmering.
Does it have a name or a description? How do you know it's yours?
I know. It's a feeling.
It's a feeling, good.
It's almost as if it's a wavelength that we match.
Do you need to open this book?
I can.
Let's open it and see what you find in there.
I emerged from two. One he would call Jophiel.
Jophiel.
And one you would call Haniel.
Haniel. This is where your soul emerged from?
It emerged from Source. But it is almost as if Source split themselves. And then those two fractals decided to merge a different fractal. And that is where I am.
Very good. So from these souls, what aspects do you take from them?
Joy.
Joy.
And beauty.
And do you use this joy and beauty in any lives that you incarnate in?
In everyone. But some are not always as joyful. But that is something to learn. And I make things. All of my lives I've made something.
What kind of things have you made?
I've made gardens. I've made jewelry. I've made toys. I've made something to bring joy and beauty for others.
And as you look through this book, is there anything written or any pictures? What do you envision when you are with this book?
Roses.
What is the significance of roses to this soul?
Because I am like a rose.
Tell me about
that. It is connected to Mother, of which I am from.
Tell me about that, this connection with Mother.
She's everywhere. She is so loving and so gentle. And I see rose petals. It's almost as if it's raining rose petals. And they're so pink.
Beautiful. Now we know that in many lifetimes this soul did have children. Why is it that in this lifetime this soul has not had children?
It was not time for her to have them yet. But she is ready.
Very good. Is there anything keeping this body from having any children?
Only her belief. But while her ovaries do have cysts, it is not as problematic as she thinks. What is holding tension is her womb.
Okay. So I'd like for you to go ahead and open that book to the page that created these issues with the womb. Is this lifetime or a different lifetime?
Different lifetime.
All right. So I'm going to count from 5 to 1 as you go deeper and deeper into this book and see this lifetime. 5. Diving in the lifetime. 4. The lifetime with the issues in the womb. 3. Finding the origin. 2, allow the images and the understanding to come. And 1, be there now. Where are you?
I'm on a different pyramid, not Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks Mayan or Aztec.
Mm-hmm.
And I am again a queen. And I am very firm.
Mm-hmm.
And no one can question my authority. And I took this throne. They didn't think I could.
Mm-hmm. Did you take it by force?
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. What did you do to take it?
I found an army.
Mm-hmm.
I found an army of men wanting to support me. It was my right.
What do you look like? Look at your body, your skin.
Very lean.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this beautiful bronze skin and black hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I have very strong features, very high cheekbones. I'm beautiful. And that is why I'm able to make an army.
Mm-hmm. Do you wear any adornments as queen?
Yes. I have a headdress.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much gold.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very light. It's not very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if they've flattened the gold down so it could be so lightweight, so I can wear it.
Mm-hmm. What does the gold signify to you as queen?
That I am the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And that no one can question my authority.
Very good. So let's close this scene. Let's move forward in that lifetime to find the origin of the issues of the womb. Be there now.
Stupid man.
What's happening?
They are not happy with me. They do not agree with how I rule. And they think they should rule. Because they are men. But a woman can be just as strong as a man.
What happens?
Snakes. They have stabbed me in my stomach.
They have stabbed you in your stomach.
But I look right at them, as if it doesn't hurt me, so that they know how powerful I am, and that I am beyond this body. They're scared, because I am not dying quickly.
What have you done with these emotions and feelings?
Sending it out as if it was rage.
Mm-hmm.
It is reaching other men.
Mm-hmm.
Men who are not sure that they are even there. That this society is even there.
Take a look at this rage and see the energy that has gone out from it.
So fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know what this will do. But they have wanted my throne, and they will see now the burden of being on the throne. That they will not be able to maintain this space, and they will disappear. And I feel badly for those who will be collateral. And I hurt for them. But this cannot be that man thinks he is greater than woman. It must cease to be.
So I'd like for you to just leave that body now, leave it behind, and look at your soul and see what has happened to your soul. Are you missing a piece of it?
Yes.
Where has it gone?
It's almost as if it is burrowed into the earth, so it is not found. That is the portion of me that is maternal and loving.
Can you see how it is affecting your soul?
I can now.
Can you forgive yourself?
Yes.
So I'd like for you to go ahead and begin to retrieve that part of your soul. Go deep into the earth and bring that loving, motherly, nurturing part back.
It's a rose. And I take it, I put it against my stomach, and it is reabsorbed.
Very good. And now that that rose has been reestablished into your soul, see how this soul now changes and evolves, being whole.
She's like a white bird. Not one of fire or destruction.
Very good. So now take a look at the womb of this body, of Susan's body. And now that you are whole in spirit, how does that change her own womb, where you were stabbed?
It is repairing the tear. It is bonding it back together.
Very good. And with your spiritual eyes, I'd like for you to just look out into the vastness of all of the other bodies in which your soul has inhabited, and see how that has affected all of them now that you are whole.
There are so many. But it is as if these tethers are being pulled away from them. And they will be better parents, better children, more loving, kind.
Without the rage.
Without the rage.
Very good. Very good. So I'd like for you to go ahead and disconnect from this lifetime. Completely disconnect. And see yourself back in that library once again with that book. Turning the page to another lifetime that is affecting the lifetime of Susan. Let's find the origin of what's happening with her face.
Two things, two lives that affect it.
Okay.
There is one where she is purposefully marring her skin because she does not want the attention her beauty brings. She does not want this. She is defiled. And the other is plague. Her skin has holes, and they hurt. And they itch. She knows she shouldn't scratch, but she does. It's very painful. She's again isolated. They've boarded the house, and she's not allowed to leave forcefully. She's meant to die there because they do not want this to spread. She's not the only one with it. It's almost as if the entirety of the block that she is on has this disease.
So I'd like for you to go to the last day of that lifetime in the plague. Take the last breath and release the spirit from that body. And you can see that lifetime in its entirety and understand why this lesson was chosen. What is it that she needed to understand in that lifetime?
It was a collective decision, and she volunteered.
So if she volunteered for this, why is she holding on to this memory? What has she volunteered in this earth in which she needs that memory?
Humility. And she was treated so badly. And all of them were. But it is compassion for those who are sick, for those who are dying. She needed to reacquaint herself with compassion.
So now that she understands that that is why she is here, once again to help and assist, why would she need to have the symptoms of that woman?
It's the anxiety. It's almost as if it has attached itself.
See where it's attached to her. Where has this anxiety attached?
It's almost as if it's not in her heart, but it is on her chest and on the lungs. And it is often why she feels she has difficulty breathing when she is in a trance state.
So I want you to go deeper and deeper into that anxiety. Give it a color, give it a texture. Is this something that was created for a purpose?
Ultimately, yes.
Yes. What is the reason why it was created?
So that she can learn consciously to release it.
Is she ready now to consciously release it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I'd like for you to go ahead and see perhaps the texture of this thing. How heavy is it?
It's almost like mud.
Very good.
It's very thick.
So what can we do with this mud to make it thinner?
You can temper it.
All right, so let's begin to temper it. What would you like to use?
Use light.
All right, what color light are you using?
It's iridescent.
Very good. So let's begin to shine in that iridescent light and begin to transform it. And tell me what happens to this anxiety, this dense, muddy heaviness on her chest.
You're growing a garden now. It is as if the mud melts away and in its place is a garden.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So I'd like for you to go ahead and plant all of those beautiful flowers to the rest of her body. Just feel the entire body so light and full of flowers. And now that we have this planted, take a look at her face. Does she need to have any of those scars to represent that lifetime anymore?
No.
No. Let's begin to bring in some healing into that face. What color represents the light of healing?
It is entwined. There's so much. There's so many who are wanting to help her. And they are sending their light.
Go ahead and accept them.
It is iridescent. It is gold. It is pink.
Allow it to just ooze through the whole face and tell me what happens.
It's almost like a face cloth. It's just rubbing it away.
Beautiful, beautiful. So in the future, when she begins to put her hands up to the face, what would you recommend?
Just take a moment and occupy her hands in another way.
All right,
she often works with her hands.
All right, so let's do now, and let's find a symbol that she can use with her hands. That when she is triggered to move up to her face, she does something else with her fingers. What would you like to use instead?
She can take her index and thumb. Just press it together.
All right. What word would you like to use to initiate that trigger of peace in her face, in comfort?
Mother.
Mother, very good. So I want you to go ahead and see what it would look like for her to feel that itchiness coming through, that anxiety. And go ahead and say the word and do the gesture with your fingers.
Mother.
Very
and
good.
She can say it in her mind. She does not need to say it.
Very good. Well, today we're saying it so she can have it recorded. Very good. So now let's take a look at these other parallel lives. I'd like for you to go ahead and close that scene. And I'd like for you to disconnect from those lifetimes that she was seeing and go back to that book and find that parallel life where she was so skinny. What was that parallel life when she felt she was at the point of death?
Yes. It was an experiment. And she volunteered again. She's very brave. She is always volunteering.
Tell me who's doing these experiments.
Herself. There is a doctor there and a nurse. It's like she has seen death before. She is wanting to prove that she can overcome it.
Now this lifetime that you're watching, is it a parallel life?
Yes.
Okay. How is this parallel life affecting the lifetime now of this one that we are speaking to, the lifetime of Susan?
She is being called back to Susan. She is Susan. She's still Susan.
Yes, but this present one that I'm speaking with, this aspect, how is that one affecting this one? Take a look and see.
She's very brave. Bit full of herself. But she knows that though her body will die, it is not gone. And she has in fact awakened with a healthy body. Not in the way she thought.
Very good. So this idea of being brave, did Susan look at this life for a reason? Does she need to be brave?
She needs to know that she is brave. She often doubts herself. She also doubts what it is she sees in her own meditations. And she thinks it is not real. But it is very real. She says she has gone off the deep end. But she is not.
So during the event in which we had in Weehawken,
Yes.
she actually saw herself forming orbs.
Yes.
What was that all about? Was that the lifetime that we spoke about first, in which she was creating different aspects of her?
In a way.
Can you tell me more about that?
Well, she is ready to create. She is ready. She is no longer having the experience. She is ready to create those who will have the experience. It's very loving.
So when you say she's ready to create those that are having the experience, are we talking about people who are coming to see her for assistance? Or children?
It is both. But it is also new souls. Fresh. Very different. But they are not many.
So in the spiritual realm, not only does she work in the Akash, but she also creates new souls?
Yes.
Okay, good. Is that why she hears mother?
Yes.
Okay. So it's heavy in her meditations, the word mother and the roses. Why has she chosen to pick the rose when she sees petals being thrown at her? What is the significance of the rose for her?
Because it is mother. It is love. It is soft. It is welcoming. It is fragrant. And it is beautiful. And yes, the rose has thorns, but it is still very beautiful.
Very good. So how can she go through life with these roses without getting pricked by the thorns?
She can touch the petals.
Very good.
She can smell the flower. And the thorns do not always have to hurt. They are there. They are part of the rose. They do not always have to hurt.
So are there people in her lives like these roses?
Oh, yes.
Would you show her a picture right now of all of those that are like these roses in her life?
It is her sister. It is her nephew. A small one. It is her best friend. And it is those that she has connected with. It is as if she's allowing their roses to bloom. Because the closer they become to her, inherently her energy affects them. And so their roses bloom.
So did she come to Earth as a gardener?
You could say that.
Why is she here on Earth?
Because this is her graduation. This is all that she has learned applied. And she's here, but she's also not here. She is constantly in an in-between state, and it is often why she feels so foggy. Because her soul leaves.
Her soul leaves. Is there anything happening on Earth at this particular time that she has chosen to come here?
Yes.
Can you tell me about that, please?
It is a change. All of the systems that have repressed are going away. And it may not seem as quickly as others would expect, but time is nothing really. Time is not linear. And you are referring to New Earth, I believe.
You tell me.
New Earth is in each and every soul. It is how you maneuver and operate and vibrate. And it is not that anything is high vibe or low vibe. It is simply the frequency, the speed of the energy, and so the speed of the energy is raising. And that is why now we are able to see with clearer eyes, with clearer vision. We are able to feel, we are able to empathize, and we are not motivated by material possessions. We are investing in experiences with ourselves and with others. And as we individually do this, so the collective will rise. And it is nothing catastrophic. We would not want that to be, as it would cause more trauma. Mm-hmm. It is individual, as you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and it's different. Mm-hmm. And you can feel the difference. So there are those that are in fact existing in this new earth, and there are those who are not yet ready. And that is why it is told that there are two different earths.
Mm-hmm. Can you switch from one earth to another?
She can, yes.
Mm-hmm. Has she done that?
Yes.
For what
purpose? It is so that she can meet those where they are.
Okay, and help them.
Yes.
Plant their garden there.
Yes.
She tells me that she sees like these movies in her mind.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, she picks one and it happens. What's happening there?
She is playing it by ear.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, she has the ability to affect her record in the moment. It is not all written down before she decided to come to Earth. She is making these decisions as she becomes more informed. Mm-hmm. She becomes more aware. And she can select whatever she likes, and she manifests it. Mm-hmm. That is what she is doing. She is manifesting her reality in the moment.
So she's been in the last year especially,
yes,
really progressing.
Oh, yes.
With her meditations, with her channeling, with her connections. Mm-hmm. What is she meant to do with all of these talents, all these skills?
She is meant to be a presence. She is meant to help. Mm-hmm. To help people realize the fullest aspects of themselves. And she does this already in having conversation, and the people that she talks to, and the depth of their conversation. She is there to be a presence. And she may often find herself a little annoyed. Mm-hmm. Because it seems that people just want to talk. And often it feels as though she doesn't have anything to say.
Mm-hmm. So is she just there to listen?
Yes.
Okay. But I've noticed that in two of the gatherings and when she's been, she has been doing some channeling.
Yeah.
Who is she channeling?
Well, it is her higher self. Mm-hmm. And it is Mother.
Mm-hmm. It's the mother aspect of her?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It is the motherly aspect of the divine feminine. Mm-hmm. That is Mother.
So what is she meant to do in the future with this? Will she be channeling more?
She will, if she so chooses. Mm-hmm. She is deciding things in the moment. Mm-hmm. She is very fluid. She can channel for groups if she likes, although she does prefer one-to-one. Mm-hmm. As she feels she can be more authentic, and that there are not too many people looking at her. Mm-hmm. But we are trying to get her out of that, and we are. Mm-hmm. She has taken steps, and you have allowed those steps to come to fruition.
Very good. And what does Matt have to do in her life?
He is the same as her, mm-hmm. except the masculine version. He is her twin, mm-hmm. and he will be coming to Earth, but he is working through his own progression.
Okay, very good. Now my curiosity is why you have brought her not only to one gathering, to two gatherings, and now here on her first shot in. What was the reason she needed to be
she needs to get out of her comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And the first gathering was very healing for her, because not only did she go to your gathering, she went to Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
And that, of course, as you know, is a vortex.
Yes.
There's great energy there. And it is very cleansing. So for her, the first gathering was more of a pilgrimage for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Where she could get ready for the second. Because we knew we wanted her to channel.
Mm-hmm.
And she often doesn't know why, but she has a gut feeling that she should be there.
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes, and that was a lot of work to get her to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And now she is here to continue to spread her love
Mm-hmm.
and her light. And whoever encounters her will know this.
Wonderful. Is this something that she should keep to herself, or she should share?
She should share.
Mm-hmm. She's a little concerned about the people who know her.
Mm.
What advice do you have to give her about that?
That they already know her.
They already know her.
They already know that there is something different about her, that they cannot place their finger on it.
Mm-hmm.
It is magical.
Yes.
And so whoever will see it will see it.
Very good. Very good. So I'd like for you to go ahead and just do a scan of her body and see her chakras, her aura. Is there anything there that needs to be adjusted at this time?
Her crown is always very open,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes overactive. Let's see. Everything seems balanced with the exception of her crown.
Mm-hmm.
Her heart is open, but not so open that she's bleeding out.
Yes.
And her throat is much more balanced these days.
Mm-hmm. As she speaks her truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Her sacral is being healed and becoming back into balance. And everything else is balanced and in perfect unison,
Very
like
good.
a song.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So is there anything else that you would like to say to me, to Susan, to anyone else at this time?
That you both are all so loved, that everyone is so loved, and that their roses will bloom when they are ready to have it bloom.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Of course.
So, welcome back.
Hi!
Hi, you're back. How did it feel?
Felt like a lot.
Yeah,
It feels so hot.
I feel so hot. You're on fire, girl.
I know.
So, how long do you think this was? Throw the blankets off if you're so hot.
I don't know, like
How did it feel? Fast? Short?
pretty quick.
Yeah, like how long?
Like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah, it's a little bit longer. Hold on to these for me.
Oh, sure.
Let's ground you. Yeah, it was. We're on an hour and 24 minutes right now.
Oh, wow.
A little bit more than 15 minutes.
Yeah,
But it went
for
fast.
sure. Yeah.
What do you remember?
I remember Marie Antoinette. And I remember Isis, and I remember the records and the roses.
You remember a lot.
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
I feel like very light, but I feel this like current that's still running through me. And I feel very like blissful and like very loved. But it's still this like electric current that like I'm not moving, but it's still like
Buzzing through you.
yeah.
That's great. So now that we've had this experience, and we talked about this before we started, how do you feel about sharing this experience, taking out personal things in it? What do you think?
Yeah. Totally.
I don't think it was anything that crazy.
No.
All right. How do you feel?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm walking on air.
That's nice.
Yeah. I feel very light.
Very light as a feather?
Yeah.
So this has been a nice experience. You know, you got to see quite a few things. And did you ever think you were a librarian? And
No.
well, I mean, you experience so much in your meditations.
Yeah.
It almost seems as if you already you're doing that anyway.
Yeah.
So tell everybody how we met.
So we first met at the Buffalo Gathering.
Yeah, in Buffalo,
New
yeah.
York.
Yes. So the really interesting thing is that Susan has been to 2 gatherings. I don't even know which camera to look at.
I know.
Probably that one. But anyway, I'm testing new equipment today. We met at the Buffalo Gathering. And what was interesting is that you were already starting to channel there. And this is what happens at these gatherings, is that these abilities start to come out because you're in a very safe space, and you're already channeling your higher self, so more came out.
Yeah.
And then we met each other again.
Yeah. In Weehawken. I brought friends.
In Weehawken. And she brought more friends with her. And there you really were doing more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So in these gatherings, a lot happens. And then how did you get this appointment?
I was in a daze when it came out.
Kind of floating?
I was out of the way, and something was lining it up like, oh, well, what day would you want? Oh, well, what time would you want? Let's go ahead and look at your schedule. And then as I clicked back into my email, it's like your newsletter dropped. I was like, oh, click. I already knew what days I wanted. So it was like click, click, click. And I had already known I was going to get a session with you.
And you know, the people who watch these have been trying for years.
I know. I feel so bad.
It is what it is. It's divine timing, and you are supposed to be here. So if you are trying to get a session, don't give up. It's your time.
No, for sure.
It is your time. So did you imagine this session to be like what it was today? No. So
I didn't know what to expect.
you had no expectation.
No. I didn't even have my questions until last night.
That's a good thing. If you're coming to me, don't write out your questions months before, because when you're being guided, it's like right there, whatever is right there in your mind. And I know that you were on the Facebook support group asking about questions, and I'm glad you didn't write them until the last minute.
Yeah.
That's the perfect way. And did you have any idea about this connection with Egypt?
I had it's almost like it would just play out in little parts, but not this whole expansive kind of thing. I know as a kid I was super obsessed with Egypt and mummies and all these other things, and it would always pop up.
Yes.
But I would never know why.
Now when you were seeing yourself as these 2 gods, how big were you?
Huge.
Yeah.
They were gigantic.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I really didn't ask, but I was imagining that you were colossal.
Oh yeah.
And the pharaohs were much smaller.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we were
Okay. All right. So when you see those statues in Egypt of those humongous beings, that's how tall they really were.
Even bigger.
Even bigger than that.
Yeah.
So probably 70 feet tall or something.
Sure. Yeah.
That's a pretty big person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what advice would you like to give everyone who's seeking to do a hypnosis session, and how to get yourself prepared?
I think a lot of it is just being and being in flow of what's happening.
Okay.
Because I know I found myself in thinking about, what am I going to ask, right? It's putting up resistance.
Yes.
Right? It's not letting it flow how it naturally needs to flow. So it's just be in the moment. So
just be. Good. So if you would like to have a session with me, sign up for my newsletter, albaweinman.com. Go to my website where you sign up, and about once a month you will get a newsletter, depending on where you are in the world. If I'm in Australia, for example, The Australians will get the newsletter, but if usually in Miami, which we are right now, mostly everybody gets the newsletter for that. And go to one of my gatherings. This is an example. She's been to 2 of them. Was it worth it?
Yeah, for sure. Like,
so tell everybody what happens at these gatherings.
So you meet other people who are going through this woo-woo kind of stuff as well, because it can be a little isolating, right?
Yes.
Like sometimes you kind of go into hermit mode.
Yes.
So it's nice to have a space that's safe, that you can kind of talk about these things and no one's looking at you kind of side-eyed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like you're able to, we're all able to channel, right? So you get that
Yes.
moment where you can channel your higher self and
Yes.
see the things that you need to see in that moment. I think when you go, to not have an expectation.
Right. That's important too.
Yeah, because then you're like blocking the flow.
Exactly. And then your past life regressions. We did some regressions also. I do regressions at these gatherings.
Yeah.
As a group, and you saw a lot of stuff there too.
Yes, yeah. So that's how I had some of my questions form.
Yes.
Was I kept seeing these rose petals, and I kept hearing mother, and like saying, what's going on?
Yeah.
And of course, like when your ego comes into play, it's like, you're not.
Starts talking to you.
Right?
Yeah.
But like this is a moment where that ego gets knocked right out the door.
That's right.
And you're able to hear your like highest wisdom.
Good, good. Now, one of the things that I tell all of my clients is that hypnosis is cumulative, which means each and every time you're hypnotized, it's like a muscle memory. It remembers, and so you go deeper and faster with each time you're hypnotized. So when you're going to a gathering, you've never been hypnotized before, this is a great place to at least start out. I'm not going to say that 100% of people are deeply hypnotized, because there's some resistance there too, okay? And there's a lot of people who are afraid, maybe they're afraid of crying out loud or whatever the resistance would be, but at least you've tried it once. And then we do another regression, and sometimes I even do 3, depending on the time frame. If I'm doing it by myself, I get more time. If I have a speaker with me or something, I may not be able to do as much, but we try to do as many regressions so that between your regressions and doing your own meditations, when you come and do a one-on-one, it's so much easier because you've done this before. So I would really encourage people to come to these gatherings so that you can meet other people, feel safe, channel that higher self, and do regressions, see where you've been before.
And temper themselves so that when they're ready to see you one-on-one, they're ready.
You're ready. Me or anybody else.
Anyone else.
Anybody else. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this session. I certainly did. It was really beautiful, very smooth, and I hope I get to meet you sometime soon. So thanks for watching. Bye. Give me that hug. Oh.